The elephant came too close to the female buffalo and her calf. The little one realized his mom was scared and charged at the 5-ton giant. The elephant was shocked. It didn't expect such a fierce attack from this cute hoofed baby. Of course, the giant could have trampled him, but chose not to, so it backed away from the calf, who was so sweetly defending his mother. Today, we will show you other instances in which bulls demonstrated amazing courage and strength. There is a vast array of bull breeds. Some of them were bred to inhabit high-altitude climates. It looks cute with that long, dense fur, doesn't it? But this Highland bull turned out to be combative and attempted to catch its opponent off guard. The aggressor forcefully attacked its kin with long horns, pinning it against a tree. The attack was very dangerous, considering the impressive length and sharpness of the curved horns. The aggressor sought to deprive the opponent of maneuverability, but it underestimated its opponent. The defending horned fighter, though caught off guard by the initial unexpected strike, managed to stand firm and throw off the enemy. Then it swiftly launched a powerful counterattack. The aggressor didn't relent and tried to slash the opponent's throat with short, vicious strikes of its sharp horns. But the defending bull proved stronger. Not only did it withstand once again, but it effectively pushed back the aggressor and through sheer force and superiority in strength, threw it off. It didn't stop there. Engaging with this bull was a mistake, as it continued to chase the aggressor, making it clear that starting a fight was a bad idea. Sometimes bulls can use their powerful horns in truly unexpected ways. Here, a young lone lion is hunting a buffalo. This male is in the prime of its strength. He has long been driven out of its native pride to hunt on his own, and over time has grown to maximum size, eventually establishing his own pride. He has endured this harsh trial. Long wanderings across the savannah, solitary hunting, battles with other lions and hyenas toughened him. In terms of physical strength, he's almost on par with mature, mighty males. Here, the lion demonstrates all his abilities as he charges at the young buffalo from a distance. The leap was so quick that the camera didn't capture the moment of impact. The lion put all his weight into the attack and simply knocked the bull over. The hoofed animal is still young and was not prepared for such a ferocious attack. The lion knocked him off his feet and onto his side. It's very difficult for the bull to stand up from this position. The predator just needs to pounce from above and to block all attempts by the victim to regain balance. However, the lion underestimated its opponent. Although the bull took the first and most powerful blow, it's not giving up. The hoofed animal resists as best as it can, considering the challenging positions. Can't get up? Okay, but the buffalo won't let the lion reach its throat either. It will jerk and toss its head, throw its skull back, and press it against its chest, all to aim its powerful horns at the enemy's head. The lion can't approach the bull's exposed throat. It realizes that a powerful horn strike would knock it out. So, the predator hesitated. It still lacks the experience to find a loophole in the victim's defense. But the predator won't give up either. It digs its claws into the hoofed animal's body, trying to wound it with its fangs as well. All this is to deprive it of strength, complicate resistance. The buffalo already spends much more energy than the opponent. Now, time is on the lion's side. However, the predator made a mistake when it thought no one would come to the bull's aid. Suddenly, the bull's kin appeared. One of them approached the head of the fallen, but still alive buffalo closely. The further development of events looks not only impressive, but even a bit mysterious. Instead of attacking the lion, the new bull seems to have started butting heads with its kin. But don't blame it for betrayal. This is part of a remarkably clever plan. The rescuer uses its own horn as a hook, grabs onto the horn of its friend in trouble, and lifts it to its feet. It was the optimal solution, as attacking the predator from this position would be inconvenient, and here every second counts. The lion is shocked by such use of horns. Both hoofed animals detached from each other in time, and with the impulse they received, the bull managed to shake off the predator. The lion had to retreat. Such an original use of horns to help a kin deserves your like, I would say, doesn't it? The lioness managed to unexpectedly pounce on the buffalo and knock it down with a powerful blow. This adult, yet still green-hoofed animal, although a member of a large herd, stepped aside for the time being. Perhaps it was looking for food, or perhaps it was scouting for threats. The lioness acted efficiently and cool. This scene of confrontation between buffaloes and a lioness is probably one of the most tense captured by the camera. The lioness was able to single-handedly knock down a buffalo approximately 2.5 times larger and bulkier. Pay attention to how efficient her fighting and hunting techniques are. The huntress has thrown the prey off balance and brought it down to its side. Buffaloes are agile and fast animals, but they cannot boast of exceptional flexibility. In this position, the hoofed animal is particularly vulnerable. Although the lioness is inferior to her opponent in pure physical strength, she effortlessly holds him in such a position with her powerful paws. She has already put her fangs in use, but the predator cannot simply puncture the large blood vessels on such a powerful neck with a single bite. Therefore, the lioness employs her favorite tactic of overpowering most enemies: suffocation. With her long fangs, she does not tear the skin, but constricts the airflow through the blocked trachea. The bull simply suffocates. This tactic is also effective because even an incredibly strong and massive animal weakens from the lack of oxygen from the very first moment. The bull is unable to rise and shake off the super strong grip. It resists, strains its muscles, tries to get up, fights, but it's all in vain. However, the lioness made a mistake. She underestimated the tendency for mutual aid among buffaloes. Other members of the herd noticed the struggle. The panther now has big problems. Bulls approach slowly. The scouts, that is, the bravest and most desperate bulls, go first. They do not rush to attack immediately, but boldly move in to assess the situation. The lioness sees the approach of the enemy, but can do nothing. The bulls approach from the side of the bull already lying on the ground, which saves the cat from being overwhelmed. The lioness has no chance of scaring off such a multitude of buffaloes. Moreover, as soon as she releases her grip, the wounded bull will immediately get up on its feet. However, its kinsmen do not know about this, and the cat clamps its jaws with all its might. Meanwhile, the buffaloes approach their opponents as if deliberately slowly. In fact, they are simply not sure if their fellow is still alive. If the lioness has already strangled him, risking themselves and trying to fight her would be foolish from the bull's perspective. But the lioness did not know whom she was dealing with. Although her prey had not moved for some time, as soon as the bull realizes that his own kind is nearby, he starts showing signs of life. The bulls notice these few movements, and a whole group of buffaloes rushes to help their kinsman. Several adult individuals themselves are a tremendous force, but behind them is the rest of the herd, which approaches like a slow wave of molten lava. They are heading decisively towards the lioness to make her understand. She has tangled with the wrong herbivores. Unlike most other hoofed animals, African buffaloes defend their own, not necessarily relatives. The tense standoff lasts for some time. Finally, the lioness realizes she will simply be trampled. She uses the body of the victim as cover, as if she had taken the lying bull hostage. But this only allowed her to fence herself off from the herd, not to defeat it. One of the bulls grew tired of this game and went for a more decisive attack. He began an active advance to lift the cat on his horns and disembowel her. Of course, the lioness had to flee. If she had hesitated even for a few seconds, she wouldn't have survived this ordeal, even if she had managed to crush the victim's trachea. The other members of the herd could have surrounded her and would have finished her off. But there were no casualties. The bull victim of the lioness's attack survived. He even avoided serious injuries. He just needed to regain consciousness, catch his breath, and get back on his feet. Domestic bulls are by no means pampered by human care. On the contrary, some of these hoofed animals are not inferior in terms of fighting qualities, even to the most battle-hardened buffaloes. As a result, such breeds become popular and spread far beyond their original breeding grounds and habitats. For example, it was thanks to this that Asian breeds of domestic buffalo came to South America. In this part of the world, farmers wanted to breed large horned cattle and not worry about diseases or the risk of cattle deaths due to the specific climate, or jaguar attacks. The latter factor was especially important, as this panther may be smaller in size compared to lions and tigers, but thanks to its amazingly powerful bite, strong musculature, and honed skills, it could easily handle ordinary European breed bulls. Therefore, domesticated Asian buffalo breeds were brought to South America. They not only possess immense strength and intimidating horns, but also withstand humidity, are resistant to diseases, and are durable enough to go out for independent grazing. We discovered a unique, very old black and white camera footage showing a jaguar duel against just one such buffalo. The history of the footage is unknown to us. Perhaps this is one of the first documentary recordings of its kind. Or maybe the jaguar was simply released in the same enclosure as the buffalo to test whether this breed is indeed good in combat. If it was a deliberate experiment, then we condemn such activity. But whatever the origin of the film, the results of the jaguar and buffalo encounter are unequivocal. The buffalo simply trampled the jaguar into the dust and mixed it with mud. The bull acted harshly and resolutely. It used a frontal attack so that the jaguar, which had come too close, couldn't dodge. The hoofed fighter simply battered the enemy, delivering terrifying blows with its horns and hooves, not even allowing the jaguar to think about a counterattack. And the jaguar is shocked. It's not accustomed to such fierce prey dominance. In the final moments of the fight, when the jaguar was already somewhat dazed and partially knocked down, the bull turns around. Do you think that it felt sorry for the predator? Of course not. The buffalo gathers momentum and sends the jaguar flying. It tosses the jaguar away and it disappears into the thickets. If it was an exam, then the buffalo passed with flying colors. Many hoofed animals gather in herds not only to fend off predators, but also to notice them earlier. Here, the buffalo was wandering alone near the riverbank, so it couldn't rely on the support of the herd. But nearby were antelopes, which suddenly got agitated and ran off. The bull didn't see the enemy and didn't know that a predator was nearby in the dense thickets, but it used the antelopes just as they use each other. By their fright, the buffalo realized it was also in danger. It dashed in the opposite direction, probably assuming that the predator would chase after the antelopes. But the bull was dealing with a seasoned male lion, which, between chasing after swift animals and dueling heavyweight buffaloes, chose the latter option. Fortunately, the bull noticed the experienced male lion in time, which wanted to attack it from the side of the thickets. The horned-hoofed animal realized that even in a one-on-one battle, an experienced and fierce lion could pose a greater danger. And if lionesses were nearby, the hoofed animal wouldn't stand a chance for sure. The bull makes the only sensible decision here, and dives into the water. It may seem like a massive beast, but in reality, bulls swim excellently. Lions also feel quite at home in the water, but there's one important detail. The bull is not only larger, but also much taller than the lions. It can stand using its feet to touch the bottom, where lions would have to swim. Without a solid foothold, they lose much of their maneuverability and mobility and cannot deliver a strong blow, whereas the bull will be able to conduct an active, effective, and tough defense. But you know how it sometimes goes? The moment you come up with a plan that's supposed to save you, it turns out the situation has only gotten worse. Unfortunately, the bull didn't anticipate that there are dangers in the water. The hoofed animal didn't know that an adult crocodile was watching it right now. Usually, this hunter uses water as cover. With its help, it stealthily approaches its prey, which has come to drink. A large crocodile weighs as much as a small motorcycle, possesses an incredibly powerful bite, and sharp teeth that hold the victim with the force of industrial vices. But here, the buffalo practically leaped right into the jaws of this monster. However, both the lion and the crocodile underestimated the hoofed animal. This bull turned out to not be only attentive, vigilant, and smart, but also an incredibly strong fighter. The bull gave the opponent an impressive resistance right in the enemy's territory. The hoofed animal didn't panic and managed to fend off the first sudden attack. And most importantly, it didn't allow the crocodile to firmly grab its leg or head or drag it to the bottom. Admittedly, competing with the crocodile in the water would have been foolish, so the buffalo hurried back to land. There, the lion awaited it, but it's better to fight a familiar opponent in familiar conditions than to fend off a half-invisible enemy in murky water who is also armored and flexible. The crocodile wasn't about to let go of its prey. It continued the attack. For this, the reptile outpaced the bull, using its advantage in swimming speed, and then attacked the victim from the side of the muzzle. Land predators avoid attacking the buffalo's head to avoid running into its impressive horns. But the crocodile has a cunning plan of its own. It wants to grab the hoofed animal by its sensitive muzzle and simply push its nose and mouth underwater. Then it will manage to drown the bull. All the enormous strength of the buffalo will be useless if it can't breathe. And even such a powerful animal won't be able to rise when it has a large and hefty crocodile hanging on it. Amazingly, the stubborn hoofed animal clings to life with remarkable resilience and survives again. The entire muzzle of an adult bull could fit into the huge jaws of the reptile, so the hoofed animal dodges the swift attack. This gives the minimum time margin for escape. Finally, the buffalo makes it back to land, and the bull's fears were justified. The male lion was not alone. He was supported by a whole group of experienced lionesses who might yield to the leader in pure physical power, but surpassed him in agility and speed. They not only patiently watched the confrontation between the bull and the crocodile, but also sincerely rooted for the hoofed animal, anticipating its return to land. As you understand, the predator simply wanted the bull to fall into their hands, and the lions sealed off the shore in such a way that the bull would definitely fall into their clutches. However, even now, the buffalo retained enough strength to defend itself actively. It understood that going into a purely defensive mode would mean defeat. Therefore, the bull acts as aggressively and decisively as no one expected at all. The horned beast rushes swiftly and breaks through the encirclement. It tries to attack the adult lion. Perhaps the hoofed animal fell into despair and just wants to take the main enemy with it. Or perhaps the bull hopes that if it guts the lion, the females will flee in fear. In any case, the bull's courage must be acknowledged. However, it clearly got too carried away. The lion couldn't be reached. On the contrary, this time the male served as good bait, as the females approached from behind. Then the bull began to act calmly again, and preferred a wise retreat to a hopeless battle. It went deeper into the thicket. The problem is that the local vegetation is too high and not dense enough. So, the warned warrior couldn't protect its back with this maneuver. The brave animal didn't even think about surrendering. Its active behavior indicated that the bull was ready for one last fight. With all its efforts, all the time gained, and all its combat qualities go to waste? It turned out they wouldn't. This plot is one of the best motivators that support the ideas to never get up. Every second one brought the salvation closer. After all, at the crucial moment, just a few moments before the hungry lions overwhelmed and devoured the bull, the cavalry arrived. A huge, numerous, and swift herd of buffaloes came to the rescue. They ran in a wide arc, already gaining decent speed. Perhaps these are relatives of our hero. Sometimes bulls stray from their native herd, but don't cease to be members of the family. As we know, family comes first. Vin Diesel approves this. This impressive scene is worthy of pompous Hollywood movies, I would say, isn't it? The lions have to retreat. The bulls have already gathered momentum and thirst for battle. Not even the lion and several lionesses can stop them. The predators retreat, and the bull, who has endured so many trials, reunites with its herd without receiving a single major injury. Dogs are often used to herd cattle, but shepherds may underestimate the opponent trying to intimidate a bull or a cow. Several such cases have been caught on camera. The bull may be frightened, but it's not its problem. It's the dogs which attacks it. The much larger hoofed animal simply tramples the shepherd dog and then goes about its business. Even a young bull without large horns can counterattack a large dog and easily knock it down with a powerful headbutt. And here, the shepherd dog overstepped and latched onto the cow's sensitive lips. But the hoofed animal didn't falter. The cow forcefully shook its head and sent the audacious dog flying. The shepherd dog hit the fence and crashed to the ground. It's a lesson learned for the dog. And today we will show you other cases where cows and bulls have demonstrated that messing with them is not a good idea. In reality, the dogs were lucky to remain alive and even avoid serious injuries. But admit it, the bulls made the dogs fly. Which of today's cases in which bulls demonstrated their indomitable strength did you like the most? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, then we'll be able to see each other much more often.